So originally I was gonna do a video about the UFC Saudi Arabia breakdown, but I'm a freaking moron and I got most of my picks wrong. So basically what happened, Johnny Walker died for like the 5th time, Sergey got exposed, and Ikram got killed. That's basically what happened. So I'm gonna be doing my UFC 303 predictions. Hopefully I don't get them wrong like I did Saudi. So originally this card was supposed to be Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, and that didn't happen because fucking Conor McGregor got his pinky toe hurt. So now it's Yuri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira 2 for the light heavyweight championship belt. Alright, so starting off the card, Ricky Simón versus Vinicius Oliveira. I think Ricky Simon's gonna take down Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius has a problem against wrestlers, and Ricky Simon's gonna have a very wrestling heavy approach with this. And after seeing his fight with Sopai, he was getting taken down a lot and being controlled for some time. So I'm gonna go with Ricky Simón. The next fight on the card, Saruya versus Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez, the owner of the most brutal KO in UFC history, I would say. Ray Saruya does have a very grappling heavy approach, and I feel like he's going to use that against Carlos Hernandez. So I could see him getting a sub here or a decision. Alright, moving on to the next fight. Martin Buday versus Andrei Arlovski. Why is Andrei Arlovski still fighting at the age of 45? I get it's heavyweight with the least skill, but still. Martin Buday is a Shamil the Blob Ghazi victim, but he should win this fight. I mean, he should. Knowing me, I'm probably going to get this pick wrong. But Andrei Arlovski is like old, and he's lost, I think, 4 out of his last fights. I don't know. But why is he still fighting at the age of 45? He's an ex-champ. I feel like, man, they should just stop booking this guy against people, bro, because he's going to lose. Another person that should retire on this card, Michelle Waterson Gomez. She was crying after her last fight. She got brutalized by Marina Rodriguez. Jillian Roberts should win this fight. I feel like she's gonna beat her by decision here. And like I said, she's younger than her. And why is she still fighting? Why? Listen, I'm not going to talk about the inside and outside foot battles like other people. I'm just going to list my predictions on this card. Okay, so the next fight on this card, Peyton Talbot versus Giannis Gamori. They put Peyton Talbot on this card because Conor McGregor was originally supposed to fight on it, and they're going to try to make him to a star. So I think this is a really easy fight for Peyton Talbot. Well, not a really easy fight, but you get what I'm saying. Giannis Gamori, I don't know, in his last outing, he seemed like a quitter. It seemed like he got hit in the body shot, but he was trying to say that it was a nut shot. I feel like Peyton Talbot's going to win. He's going to style on this guy. Alright, next fight. Gene Silva versus Charles Jourdain. I don't think Charles Jourdain is that good. He has pillow hands. He hasn't had a finish in like a while. Gene Silva, I feel like he's going to try to look for the finish, but I don't think he's going to get a finish because Charles Jourdain is pretty tough. But with that being said, I think Gene Silva is going to win by decision. Moving on to the next fight. Cub Swanson versus Andre Fili. I feel like this is going to be a very fun fight between two veterans. Two crafty vets. Cub Swanson is going to win by decision. It's going to be a very fun fight. I feel like he still has some fire in him, even though he's like 40 years old. It's like a 50-50 fight here too. And Andre Fili is a 50-50 fighter. But I feel like Swanson can get it done between these two. I feel like he's had better wins between these two. Swanson is a dog. So I feel like Swanson's going to win. Moving on to the next fight. Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barrios. I don't know, bro. This one seems like a difficult one. Give me Joe Pyfer. This is the white Ngannou. This is the real white Ngannou. Sergey Pavlovich, forget him, bruh. Joe Pyfer is gonna brutalize Marc-Andre Barriault, bruh. And should call out Lucas Tracy in his post-fight interview.
You know, I mean, I'm salty, bro. I feel like a lot of people have thrown shade at my team, so fuck you guys. And there's one fucking nerd out here that does media, and he said I always have a bad attitude, so I would love to smack that dude in his fucking face.
Joe Pyfer is mad at the world, and he's going to show it at UFC 303. Marc-Andre Barriault is going to get knocked out cold. I'm calling it right now. Joe Pyfer. And then after this, I feel like he should fight somebody outside of the rankings, because he just had a fight that was in the rankings so he could be in it. But he got fraud checked by Jack Hermanson. So I think, I don't know who Joe Pyfer should fight after this. Alright, now moving on to the main card. MVP versus Ian Gary is up next. I think MVP is going to win this fight by decision. It's going to be a point fight, it seems. I feel like it's a really close fight between these two. Hopefully, MVP could sleep Ian Gary after all that shit he's been saying. He seems like a cocky little fuck. Not much people like Ian Gary. And I'm one of them. I don't blame you guys. This guy's a fucking cuck. I despise Ian Gary. Hopefully this build-up could be fun. But knowing the UFC press conferences and everything, they're going to ask him about the weather and shit. So, MVP is going to definitely beat Ian Gary by decision. I don't see Ian Gary getting knocked out in this fight, although I would love to see that. I do feel like that could be the fight of the night. It could be a really good fight, a really fun fight, if this next fight wasn't on the card. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chalson, bro. Actually, nobody cares about this fight. Why is it on the main card? This being on the main card is insane to me. Joe Pyfer should have been on the main card, opening the card. It should have been Joe Pyfer, MVP versus Ian Gary. No, wait, scratch that. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. MVP versus Ian Gary. Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. And Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. That's how the fight card should have went. But no, UFC is trying to push the fact that we care about Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chalson, bro. Nobody cares about this fight. Why is it on the main card? This is a prelim fight at most. An Apex main card fight. Nobody cares about this fight, bro. I'm telling you. Oh my god. The UFC should put Joe Pyfer on the press conference. Because this guy, he gets mad at anything. So he could just bring in some buzz.
That's something just from the heart. It's like, I got to get used to, you know what I mean? So many people talk shit. I rarely get hate messages at all, if any. But just some of these fucking guys, bro, they just try to latch onto your nutsack like a bunch of fucking leeches just to talk about you. And it's like, then you got all these people that come into your life, like how many messages I got on my phone of people pretending like they've always known I would be here and whatnot. Listen, if you didn't believe, don't try to hop on, because I don't want you on the team. I got my inner circle. I'm good. That's my rant for the day.
I don't know, bro. But I'm going to choose Mayra Bueno Silva. And I think she's going to submit Macy Chalson. I don't know. I could just flip a bottle, flip a coin or something like that, and somebody would win. I don't know. It's a WMMA fight. Nobody cares about that. Why is it on the main card? Moving on to the next fight. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Holy mid. Bro. Knowing how this fight card has been, I don't know if it's going to be 100% certain that this is going to be the fight on fight night. But bro, seeing how this card has been, by the time it's fight day, they're going to announce that Anthony Smith is going to be fighting Alex Pereira for the championship belt, which is crazy to think about. Because Anthony Smith, if he wins this, he might be fighting for the title next. Moving on to the co-main event, Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. my emo king, Diego Lopez, is going to beat Brian Ortega. He's going to fight Mozart next after this, and then fight Elliot Tapore or Max Holloway, either one. But I think Diego Lopez is going to beat Brian Ortega by TKO in the third or second round. This fight's going to demonstrate the best grappling in the division because it's two really good grapplers. Brian Ortega said after this fight he was going to move up to 155, so that really makes you think about how he's feeling in this division. Like, no matter what, he said that he was going to move up to 155. So this could affect him, like in a weight cut type of stuff. And it is on short notice. So I'm taking Diego Lopez by TKO. And I'm a huge fan of both of these guys. I'm kind of sad that both of them have to fight. One of them has to lose. But I am a bigger fan of Diego Lopez. A little bit of bias, but I'm just going to say that Diego Lopez is going to win this fight. I'm confident in this pick. I better not be wrong, bro. I swear to God, I better not be wrong. Diego Lopez does have more tools than Brian Ortega. He has more aura to... I'm going to say this. Diego Lopez is the main character. That's all I'm going to say. Now, moving on to the main event. Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. This is a rematch of 296. I'm picking Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira by knockout. Oh man, what a fight. This has to be the fight with the two biggest chads in the UFC. Alex Pereira has the best leg kicks in the UFC. Yuri Prochazka's legs are right open for the leg kicks. That's all I'm going to say. And at UFC 300, Alex Pereira took little to no damage against Jamal Hill. And Yuri Prochazka was getting tagged up by Rakic. Yuri Prochazka is open to getting punched by his opponents. And if he's open to getting punched by his opponents, imagine what Alex Pereira is going to do to him. We already saw what happened. I mean, it was kind of an early stoppage. I feel like Alex Pereira would have got the TKO anyway. But Yuri Prochazka, he's right open for those shots. Especially that left hook of Alex Pereira, who puts any man to sleep, it seems, with that hook. Yuri's autism is going to help him in this fight. As crazy as it may seem, Alex Pereira is more technical than Yuri's type of style. I feel like if Alex Pereira can get this done, we need to start thinking where he ranks in top 15 of all time in the GOAT conversation. Alex Pereira has done so much for the sport in this amount of time, which is crazy to think about. I want to thank Adesanya for bringing this guy into the UFC for what he's done. Oh, man. Hopefully during fight week there can be a little bit of beef between Alex Pereira and Anthony Smith. That would be pretty funny. And especially during the press conference, if they could just talk a little bit of shit when Brian Ortega's in the middle of them. Oh, man. But with that being said, this is my quick predictions of UFC 303. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below.